please give him a. I think we just chant one Hare Krishna to welcome Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.
Very well. All right, so originally Maharaj, Subhak Maharaj, His Holiness, he was supposed to talk on Jagannath pastimes, but unfortunately he had to fly this morning to Bali. There was some emergency, so I'm the stand-in. And so I thought maybe to follow the same theme, today's celebration of Jagannath Ratha Yatra, which was yesterday at Puri, and in some parts of the world also they did it yesterday. I also heard there was like almost 700 people, injured yesterday in Puri due to heat stroke and crowd mismanagement. So we pray for them. So I was thinking maybe I'll just say a little bit of Snan Yatra. You know what Snan Yatra is, right? Right? It's the bathing ceremony of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Generally it is 12 days before Ratha Yatra. It's on a Purnima, in the month of Jyeshta. So, and it is actually normally falls between May and June, this festival generally. Sometimes if it's there is a Purushottam Mas, then it goes up to July. So otherwise it's generally between May and June, and it is the birthday of Jagannath. Snan Yatra is actually his birthday. So just like Janmashtami is the birthday of Krishna, Snan Yatra is the birthday of Jagannath. But Jagannath is Krishna. But because he comes in different forms, he has so many birthdays. Now you can't do that, okay? You're not supposed to do that. So therefore, when we say Jyeshta Purnima, that is the month of Jyeshta, we are talking about Jagannath's birthday, yes. And he appeared in this big, you can see right in front of you, Jagannath has big eyes, dark, and he has a round face, big smiling, This is known as the Mahabhav Prakasha. He manifests this ecstatic feature. So it's Mahabhava Prakash. Okay? And not just Jagannath, but also Baladev and Subhadra. And you all know the pastime, right? How this manifested. Briefly speaking, one time the queens of Dwaraka, they were Jai Shri Shri Gaunitai Ki Jai. So, the queens of Dwaraka, they wanted to know about Krishna in Vrindavan. They've heard so much. So they asked one of the personalities who had witnessed it, and that was Mother Rohini. And she said, I will say, but make sure that Krishna and Balaram does not hear this pastime, because then they will go into ecstasy. And therefore, she put a guard just like in a big hall like this. All of you can imagine yourselves to be like the queens of Dwaraka, and then you need guards outside that main door. So they put Subhadra out there. But Subhadra also, when she was hearing the pastime, she also lost control of her emotions, and she started to manifest ecstatic symptoms. And so she was having big eyes, and her hands and limbs started withdrawing into her body. At that time, Krishna and Balaram also came. And she is supposed to guard, but she is also in ecstasy, so she couldn't do that. And when they were looking at the sister, they started to think, what's happening? And so when they came closer, they could hear Rohini speaking. So at the door, they, put their ears, and then they started hearing their own pastime. So in hearing their own pastime, they then became very ecstatic. And so Krishna and Balaram also manifested this feature. And at that time, Narada Muni came, and when he saw this ecstatic feature, he begged the Lord, to say, you please manifest this wonderful form, the feature that you have manifested, so that the people in this planet, in the earthly planet, can get this mercy of you. And so the Lord promised. And so, and to cut the story short, he allowed one great devotee, King Indradumna Maharaj, who wanted to see the ecstatic form of the Lord. And so he had some servants going around the country to look for the beautiful form of the Lord. And finally he found out it was in the mountains of Niladri. And there Lord Brahma used to come and worship this beautiful form of Nila Madhava. Yeah. And then he got that message. And so he wanted to go and see, but the Lord had his own plans. And the Lord disappeared, but he promised him that he will appear and he will see him. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Babies you can't control. It's all right. Yeah. But not too loud. All right. So anyway, now all the babies are running around here. Just imagine when you are flying in the aircraft, right? And the babies cry, and everyone looks at the mother. Yeah, and she has no, way to control the baby, and it's not her fault. But everyone is so angry, So we should be kind, actually. Yeah. Right. So anyway, the king eventually gets to see the manifestation of the Lord. The Lord comes in as huge logs. You know what a log is, right? Big wood. So then he then got people to, he was informed by Lord Brahma that the logs would be carved and then he can worship the Lord. And many different sculptors came, wooden sculptors, but they couldn't help. Carpenters, all kinds of personalities came, but they could not do much. And finally, the demigod Vishwakarma, he came, and he came as an old man, and he said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it in a hut, and you should not disturb me. So the king agreed, King Indradumna. So every day he would hear the sound, knock, 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 and cutting and all the sound. Suddenly the sound stopped. And then the king was thinking, is he working or is he done? What's happening? So he went on for a long time and it was too quiet and the king could not tolerate anymore. Now the Vishwakarma, the carpenter, said, whatever happens, don't open. If you open, I will stop working. So the king could not tolerate, so he opens the door and the Vishwakarma is watching him, and then he disappears. And then the king looks at the form and he thinks, oh no, I have interrupted the sculpturing, so it's incomplete. And he says like that, but then Lord Brahma, Narada, they come and they tell him, no, this is not how it is. This is the ecstatic form of the Lord, the Mahabhava Prakash. Okay, so he forms in ecstatic mood, this is his form. And thereafter, they install him in the temple, and King Indradumna asks for some boons. One of the boons is, he says, he does not want to have any children because then they will claim Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Right? Nowadays, if in India you go, people, due to their family lineage, they say, this is my deity. And sometimes you can't even go to the temples. But in any case, he makes that wish and the Lord grants him that. But at the same time, his queen, known as Gundicha. Okay, the queen of King Indra Dumna is Gundicha. She actually wanted to have children. When she heard her husband say, she became very morose. But then Jagannath went to her and said, don't worry. Every year I will come and you should, to see you, because I consider you my mother. And so she became very happy. Okay, so for us in ISKCON, Jagannath manifested in 1967 in San Francisco. The story is one day when Prabhupada was in his room, Mother Malati, she comes running with a basket. She comes to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, what is this? And Prabhupada is sitting near his table, and she puts this black figure on top and say, Prabhupada, what is this? I found it. And Prabhupada looks at that, and then he immediately says, oh, his eyes goes big and says, you have brought the Lord of the universe, Jagannath. And Prabhupada says, there must be other forms also. They usually have 3 of them. And she says, yes, Prabhupada, there are 2 other forms. Now she bought it in Cost Plus. There's some international kind of store where they have all kinds of things. And so Prabhupada said, yes, please go and bring the other 2 also. Then she takes her husband, Shamasundara, and they go and they bring 2 other forms. And Srila Prabhupada places them in this position. Jagannath, Subhadra, and Baladev. And he says, this is how they are. Some commercial here. That's okay. No problem. So then Srila Prabhupada then asked he asked the devotees who can carve the deities. So at that time, Shamasundar Prabhu said he could do it. Okay. Now, if you cover like that, do you think they can see the screen? No, those who are sitting in front can't see, So maybe you want to put it down, huh? You can see. Yeah, can you move a little bit? How long? Okay. All right, so then Shamasundar Prabhu said he could carve, and Srila Prabhupada said, I want a 3-foot deity. So the first deities in San Francisco, Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, they were around 3 foot tall. Yeah. And then Srila Prabhupada said, I will install them on March 26th. That was the Gaur Punim Day in San Francisco. So that's how in ISKCON we had our first installation and first Jagannath Ratha Yatra conducted in San Francisco with Jayananda and so on. Okay? All right, so let's go now. Can you all see that? No, yes. Huh? Oh, move back a bit. Come on, move back, then you can see. Can you see now? Can you see that? The little girl there, she's so excited. Yeah? Okay. So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and all his associates, they would always dance in front of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. It's a beautiful painting, this one. Yeah. Now for Snan Yatra, generally they build within the temple grounds a Snan Vedi, or they call it the Snan Mandap. This is how the structure is. It is not outside the Jagannath temple. It is inside the Jagannath temple. And it's very well decorated. They have a lot of, they'll cut a lot of okay. Is that better? Has the boga been offered? Not yet. Okay. If it's offered, you can remove the curtain. Okay. All right. Generally, the deities are very beautifully decorated, and they use all kinds of perfumes on the deities. And then they also have, lots of incense, perfumed incense, and so on. All of these are offered. Um, the deities come from the altar and to this Snan Vedi, and that the procession to bring the deities, they call it the Pahundi, Pahundi, that's the name they say. Pahundi, Pahandi, okay. So the way they do it is they have pillows on the ground, because Jagannath is so heavy, I think he's close to around, I've seen him, it's about 10 foot tall. He's like about 8, 9 foot wide, So all these deities are huge. And the deities are actually made from, Jagannath, as I know, is made from neem tree, actually. Yeah. And to move them, they rock him up like this and this way. And therefore, they need a smooth surface or a soft surface. And they put pillows and they rock him. And then there's a lot of kirtan. And then they bring him up to this Snan Vedi, the bathing place. So thousands and thousands of devotees are there at that time. And to support them, if you look at that, you can see those structures, the steel or wooden structures, they actually tie the deities up. Otherwise, they may fall accidentally, and people may sometimes get injured. Okay? Now, they usually go to the temple, Sakshi Gopal temple, which is around 20 kilometers away from Puri, Jagannath Puri. And every year they cut this bakul tree, and they use the bakul tree as the support for the Lord. Okay, so this is what they do. They transport this bakul tree cuttings and they bring it to Jagannath Puri temple. Okay, we'll continue. And then they will prepare the deities and they will tie him to the canopy around the structure. You can't see it here, but actually they tie them up very nicely. If you look at Baladev on his side, you can see a string going up and so on. So that's how they hold them steadily. And they wrap the deities up nicely. You can see dhoti and so on. And this is the only day that Jagannath comes out for a public bathing. Generally, you don't see Jagannath being bathed in front of the public. But of course, as I said, it is his birthday, and therefore he comes for a public bathing ceremony. So therefore, this whole thing is known as Snan Yatra. So you can see a better view here. Can you all see? Yeah. Okay, have a look, because you don't get to see this, all right? You can't. They won't let you all come inside to see. Some of you can't go in at all, right? Only Indian body they allow. Actually, in the Skanda Purana, it doesn't say it has to be Indian body, this body, or that. Anyone should be able to go, but all those pandas and pujaris, they won't. Okay, they carry big sticks. If you go near the Jagannath Puri temple, and if they think you are a foreigner, what they'll bid you, Sometimes, if you are ISKCON devotee, they see you, they say ISKCON, ISKCON, and they'll just tap you, But generally, they don't chase the Indian-bodied devotees. If you are Western body, then they won't let you go in. Another picture, you can see they are preparing to do the bathing. Right, have a look. Okay. Still some more picture. So generally after Mangalarti, all the Sauras, the different groups, Sabaras, the Mahasauras, they go in a ceremony, or they have a ceremonial procession. And now they go to this lake called Sunakua. That means the golden well. And then they go there and they get 130 vessels of water from that place. Either they use both copper and gold pots, okay, to bring this. And when they bring these pots, all the personalities who are carrying these pots, they cover their mouth and nose so that they don't spit into it accidentally. Now, you may think I will close my mouth, but even when you speak, your spit is flying, 1,000 miles here and there, So it may drop into the water and contaminate the pot. And each pot they put in dasamula herbs, and they have turmeric in it, and chandan, agrura, flowers, and perfumes, and the dasamula herbs, medicinal herbs. So all of that are into the pot, and then they bring it up to Jagannath. Now, while Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra are bathing during this ceremony, and then after this ceremony, they go into a special place in Jagannath temple where they will not give any more public darshan. You can't see them for up to 12 days. And during that 12 days, in the place of the murtis, they actually put paintings. And these are the paintings. These are chittakaras. The artists are known as chittakaras. And this painting is known as Anascharcha Patti. They are special paintings, and this you can see they use minerals and natural colors, no artificial coloring, and they do it on this special material. All are natural. And the deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra are also painted with minerals. So after bathing, their color smears away. You can't see them properly. And so that's why they take them into a special place to take out the old covering, and then they repaint them properly. Okay. So these are known as the Anascharcha Patti. Okay. These are paintings. I'll show you another one. Okay. Okay, this was placed there in 1990, this one. So these three paintings were there in place of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. Until Ratha Yatra, they were worshipped. These paintings were worshipped. This was in 1990. So some devotee must have taken the picture. Okay. So when the ceremony starts, there are huge kirtans, lots of kirtan and loud kirtan. You look how many hand symbols they are carrying. Right? It is open air, so it's okay. But if you were to do hand symbols in this temple room, you will go deaf within a few years. Yeah. Actually, ISKCON has a high rate of hearing defect. Yeah. Because we become so ecstatic in our kirtan. Yeah. All right. So they are making a lot of noise and so excited. Look at all those devotees. Probably you have offered, right? Okay, we can move the curtains. Once it's offered, we can. Okay, 5 more minutes and we'll move the curtain. Yeah. All right. Then they bring all the water and they do a simple aarti first. Before they start the bathing ceremony. Generally, the bathing ceremony is in the morning. It's, in the morning. And as I mentioned, all this water is coming from this Sunakwa, and this ritual where they're going to bathe him is known as Jaladi Basha. That's in Oriya, Jaladi Basha. Means Jala Abhishek. Yeah. Water Abhishek. Yeah. Now we saw originally how Jagannath, Baladev, they were covered in dhotis and all different silken cloths. Generally, they put red powder, kumkum, to cover the deity. So thereafter, they'll bring these 130 different vessels and they start bathing. So there you go. They come with the pots. It's like big chaos. You can see the little boy up on top. He's enjoying it, you know. Right? He's very excited also. So all these hundreds of pots are poured over them, and as they pour, the colors do fade away, as I say, and then Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra are kept in this special place, and this 15 days maybe is known as Anavasara. Okay? Special days, and they will actually repaint Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Now what you can't see is Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra have a very thin cloth on them before they paint with the minerals. So after bathing, the cloth also gets damaged, and then they will remove this cloth, and then if there's damage to the wooden form of the deity, they also fix them during these 15 days. So special sculptors, they all will go there and they will fix. After that, they wrap them in this very, very thin silk cloth, and then they start painting them. Okay? Yeah. So this is the day they do the, from that day for 15 days, they do the transformation. So you can see here, the water is being poured on Jagannath. Can you see that? On the right eye of Jagannath, the yellow color is actually the yellow water coming out of the pot. Can you see that? Okay, yeah. And Jagannath is actually fighting with all these people. They are rushing at him and he's pushing them away. And after the big fight, this is how he looks. He is exhausted, and all those pujaris are exhausted also. And Jagannath say, "You lost." But look at his cloth; everything is a mess. All right. Now, 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya and his associates during this Snan Yatra, they would be dancing madly in front of the deities, you know, very nicely, very wonderfully celebrating the Snan Yatra. Now, after this bathing is done, the deities are dressed again. They are put a lot of flowers very nicely, and then everyone can come and see the deities for a short while. Okay. I just want to wait for the Prabhu to finish. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me. 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 Okay, that means, Lord Jagannath, please show me your form. Can someone help, Prabhu? Yeah. Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Now he has shown you the form. Okay, so that's basically what the Jagannath Snan Yatra is all about, And all over ISKCON, we also have our own Snan Yatra. Okay, the one on your left, on top left, is ISKCON. No, top left is ISKCON Bhuvaneshwar in Oriya, and the one on your bottom right is ISKCON Zurich. This will show you a few pictures of different temples. This is in ISKCON Mayapur, the one on the left. But Rajpur, right? Rajapur, yeah, Rajpur, yeah. And then the one on the right is in Chaitanya Gauriya Math in Tripura, India. Huh? Oh, yeah, inside the bucket. The deities are in the bucket, if you look carefully. All right. More pictures. Okay, so this, after the bathing ceremony, what happens is immediately these are still in Jagannath Puri, they do this special dressing called Hati Vesh, or the elephant dress. So there is a pastime where, there are many versions of the pastime. So one of the version is that there was a very staunch devotee of Lord Ganesha, very staunch. And then the king of, but he was a great scholar, very good scholar. So the king of Puri invited him, and he refused. He said, I'm not going to go anywhere where there's no Ganesh, But the king of Puri convinced him, I guess he's a king, so he could convince him. And so the scholar came, and then the king said, let's go and take darshan of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. So in his heart, he's like, I will only take darshan of Ganesh and no one else. And at first he hesitated, but the king said, no, please come. And so he came. So when he came, this was just after Snan Yatra, after bathing. And then when he came, Jagannath had this form where it looked like he had a trunk. And so he was so excited. And since then, this has been a tradition in Jagannath Puri and all over ISKCON temples where there is Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Okay. This is in ISKCON Mayapur is on the left, and the one on the right is still Jagannath Puri. You can see how nicely they have formed the elephant vesh. Yeah, you all can do it next year, right? Start planning, so you can do a very nice festival. This is in Bhuvaneshwar, ISKCON Bhuvaneshwar, Hati Vesh. Close-up picture. If you look at Subhadra, doesn't wear elephant dress. She wears what we call as lotus outfit. Okay, that's her lotus dress. Okay, this one is even more exciting. This picture here. This one is London Soho. Just look at that. It's amazing, the devotees. You can see they even made elephant ears also. And look at Lady Subhadra, she's so cute. This is in ISKCON Mayapur. Very talented devotees, no? ISKCON Zurich. And then, This is in the Bhakti Vedanta Ashram in Oriya. Okay, so after this, for 15 days, they will, of course, as I mentioned, they'll fix all problems and so on with the deities. This is another temple, Baladev Jew Mandir in Kendrapada, Oriya. Okay, and this is after the one on the left is the Snan Yatra, the one on the right is the Hati Vesh. That's Balaram, you can see. Yeah. Okay, then this is a very rare picture taken in 1800s of the Snan Yatra in Jagannath Puri. Have a look. Because if you never go there, this is the only chance. Every year it gets crowded, more and more crowded. There's another one from a book. The author who has painted it, Louis Rausler. And this is from 1878. Okay. Now this is Jagannath in the cart, in the Ratha cart. After the ceremony, then they open, when they fix the deity, they bring him back on the altar the day before Ratha Yatra. And they call him the Nava Yovanam Vesh. He doesn't wear the full outfit, it's just a silk, white silk, they cover him up, and he gives darshan for maybe in the evening. So devotees all rush to see that, because it's his new form. Okay? And after that, they decorate him the next day and bring him up on the Rath Yatra cart, Pahandi again. So he dances and you will see him like this. See, before they bring him into the cart, he goes around and he wears this big peacock crown. And it's very exciting to look at it. If you are there, you will see. There are some videos online you can see. But it's a very wonderful time. Okay. Now, before even they bring out Jagannath, the carts are all assembled. And then you can see in front of all those people, all the ropes, in bundles you can see. Okay. And then once they are ready and the deities get on the cart, the people will come. They will all gather to want to pull, and then the policeman will start hitting people. That's what they do. If you are not careful, they beat you up. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, they'll beat you up. But you have to take it as special mercy of Jagannath. But once you get bitten, you have to think whether it's mercy or not. Yeah, because it's your consciousness, how you want to relate to the person beating you. Yeah. So they have like a royal carpet before Jagannath comes out into the main road. And more pictures here. You can see beautiful pictures. She's after the cake. She's caught. Now during the Anavasara period, when Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra are not visible publicly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu feels great separation. So when he feels a lot of separation, you can read in Chaitanya Charitamrita and so on, Lord Jagannath appears to him and say, you will see me in Alarnath temple. There's a temple a few kilometers away, and it's called Alarnath temple. Here, the Lord is in a four-handed form. It is said that he is in a Dwaraka Krishna form. Okay? And he holds Shankh, Chakra, Gada and Padma. And the devotees come during the Anavasara period, after Snan Yatra. Now, generally, they say after the bathing, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra become sick. But actually, in the Skanda Purana, it doesn't say that. Okay, but over many centuries, people say he's sick, and during this time, they actually give Jagannath a special drink. Right, it's a medicinal drink, and so he gets to drink. And in 1 year, I think in 2019, when we were there, we were very fortunate with the Chinese devotees. We went. So one of the Maharaj, the HH Krishna Swami, he actually got the drink that was given to Jagannath Baladev, and we all sampled it. It was really nice. Yeah, sweet actually, sweet drinks. Yeah. So Jagannath wanted Mahaprabhu's darshan, and so he told him to visit Alarnath temple. Okay, and so this is a temple that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go, and he used to be very, very much exhibiting the separation, the mood of separation. Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. And that separation he manifested from Jagannath is compared to the gopis feeling separation from Krishna. Yeah. So he would cry a lot. And during these 15 days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not even eat anything. And he becomes very skinny. And he'll become despondent due to the long separation. Okay. So more pictures of the temple. It's a beautiful temple. But again, they don't let non-Hindus or Westerners or anyone not Indian in the temple also. But you can stand very close to the temple entrance. You can't go in, but you can see the deity. It's a bit dark, but you can see. And the deities, if you haven't seen, this is how they look. This is Alarnath. Okay. Very beautiful deity. Four-handed Vishnu form, as I mentioned. As I also said, he is Dwaraka Krishna. Some of the devotees say that. At his feet on the right is Garuda, the carrier, eagle carrier. He's praying to the Lord, and on his left and right hand side is his consorts, Shri and Bhu. Okay, Shri Devi and Bhu Devi. In case you're wondering. Now there are also small deities of Lord Krishna's Rukmini and Satyabhama there also, indicating he is Dwaraka Krishna. Yeah. Now, when Mahaprabhu was in so much ecstasy and he used to come and see this deity, he would cry so much and he'd pay obeisances. When he paid obeisances, the stone over there has melted. And this is how it looks. And they have actually installed Mahaprabhu in the six-arm form known as Sadbhuja form. That means representing both Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna and Lord Ram. So Sadbhuj form. So the impressions of Lord Chaitanya you can see in the bottom of the picture there. So this is, they say when he lay down to pay obeisance, immediately the stones melted in ecstasy. Yeah. When we lay down, we create a mess sometimes. After kirtan, we are sweating and so on. Yeah. Okay. So the Ratha Yatra, once it starts, it comes about 3 kilometers from Jagannath temple to this temple, the Gundicha temple. Okay. And the deities, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, they stay here for at least a week, or maybe sometimes even less. Now, during this time, when they're staying here, there's another festival. Anyone know that? Hera Panchami. Yeah, one. There's a few others, like you guys were mentioning. Yeah. The Hera Panchami is when Jagannath's consort Lakshmi or Rukmini in Jagannath temple waiting for her husband to come back. Because they say he was sick and he said, now I'm well, I want to go for a short visit to see my devotees. And she said, okay, you can go. But then after a few days, he said, I'll only go for one day. But then when he comes to Gundicha, he stays for a long time. So she gets very angry. So then she finds out he is in Gundicha and not coming back. Now Gundicha temple represents Vrindavan Dham. Yeah. But there's the other pastime I also mentioned earlier, right? Gundicha is the place where Jagannath comes to see the wife of the king. Her name is Gundicha. Yeah. So there's two things. Always Krishna does one activity, but he does many other purposes at the same time. So Lakshmi gets very angry and she gets all her maid servants. You can read it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Millions of them. And then they become so angry and they all come to the gate of Gundicha. And at this time, Jagannath's servants, all the cowherd boys and all are there. And so they have a big fight with the maid servants of Lakshmi Devi. And so they tie all the cowherd boys and then they drag them back to Jagannath Puri temple. And there they beat them and then they make them cry. And then they say, you go and tell your master, if he's not coming back, we are going to come back and drag him also. So that's the pastime. And of course, when they come and tell Jagannath, Jagannath says, oh, tell her I'll come tomorrow. But he stays another 3 days. So Mahaprabhu, now the day before Ratha Yatra, I think, is Gundicha Marjana. So Mahaprabhu comes to this temple and they do a lot of cleaning. You can read that also in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So here in this picture you can see it's supposed to be a cleaning day, but only 1 or 2 people are cleaning. You all are laughing. How many of you also do the same thing? Right? Okay. Yeah, it's very nice pastime actually. So this is actually a map. Jagannath Mandir, the temple, and then Gundicha. The whole road is known as the Grand Road. Or in Oriya they say Bada Danda. Big road. Like that. So it's about 3 kilometers. You can walk. It's not, but on Ratha Yatra day, it will take you hours to walk. So many people. How many people? So many people. That many people. Right? That the Rath hasn't even started moving. You see how many people are there. We'll show you another view. Hasn't moved yet. Show you another picture. Now they are pulling, but still, look at the crowd. It's very dangerous though. The people rush, they push you, you fall, you are in trouble. Yeah. I was pulling one time, I was so afraid. I pulled a little bit and then I say, enough Jagannath, thank you, and I left. Yeah, it's very scary, very scary. The carts are huge, 20 foot high. The wheels are humongous, 13-foot wheel, I believe. Look at the crowd, look at the cart. The first cart that moves is Baladev. Yeah. Behind him is Subhadra, and the last one to move is Jagannath. Yeah. So we see another view from Baladev's cart. Yeah. So this is Ratha Yatra. Now in ISKCON Mayapur, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, one time the Gurukul teacher brought the boys, the young boys one time, and then they were doing kirtan. And at one point they were going to do boga, just like that, boga offering. And so they told the boys to go and they closed the curtain. So all the boys left except one boy. So he thought he was smart, So then he opened the curtain, he went in and he went to take the boga or offered boga. As he was reaching out to take, he got big slap and then he came out crying, ah! So then the Gurukul teacher was asking, what happened? What happened? He said, Baladev slapped me. And he had mark for at least a couple of weeks. Yeah, because they thought he was joking, They came inside, but there's nobody there, So he said, no, Baladev slapped me. Yeah, so don't think the deities don't, act when they have to act. They are watching all of you. All right, so the rest of the slide is just some artwork here. In Oriya, if you go during that period, you can find very many nice paintings like this, which you can buy, and they are like 5 feet across like that. You can purchase, put in your home, and can meditate and chant like that. Now, in 1 year in Houston, a huge tree, an oak tree fell down, and one of the devotees from Mayapur, the pujari, he cut the tree up and then he made these 3 deities. Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, and they weigh a ton. Now if you look carefully, he made a mistake. Subhadra also has hands. So this picture went around the world and the Jagannath Puri temple found out. And they gave us hell. They were so unhappy. And then, okay, the final picture is an artwork. Also, I think all of you are very artistic here. You all can do this for your next Ratha Yatra. Finger painting. Right? You all should do it. Then Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra will be very pleased. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Mai ki jai. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock.
The cultural festival.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you very much to His Grace, Radha Krishna Prabhu. Please give a round of applause. Very nice class. Thank you.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the wonderful class. I had 2 questions. One was, why does only Subhadra Maya not have any hands? And the second one was, when you mentioned earlier, when you were showing the PowerPoint that only...
Let's do one question. Okay. Right? She was in too much ecstasy, and her hands all withdrew inside her. Yeah, so that's the form she displays. Out of compassion for all of us, she's showing, this is my Mahabhav form for the love of her brothers. Yeah.
And the second was when you said that when they were getting the water from the
Sunakwa.
Yeah. So, and they covered their mouth and nose.
Yes.
So, is it like the same thing when they do
COVID.
Cooking? Like,
yes.
So they're cooking.
Yes.
Do they also like covered hair?
Yeah.
Like
actually, that's the standard. Yeah. In fact, all temples in the early days, the devotees, the ladies used to cover their hair, and then not so much the mouth, but they used to cover their hair. But nowadays, everyone is so free, Yeah. So, cleanliness, actually. It's for cleanliness, yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please
Hare
accept
Krishna.
my obeisances, Prabhu. I have 4 questions, very small.
We'll
first,
see.
From her question, so I wanted to know, it's told that the limbs, so the legs are also
All retracted
shrunk
into the body.
So what are they actually then standing on? So,
They're standing on the Yoga Maya potency.
okay, so this.
Yeah.
Okay. And second is
Well, it's like when you roll up, your whole form is like a round, so you are more stable, right? The center of gravity is now is lower now, so they won't collapse. Yeah.
and second is where is Prabhu Sudarshan in the Rath Yatra?
It is it's next to Krishna, if I remember. Yeah. Jagannath.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah.
And third one where, King Indradyumna was told not to open the doors.
Yes.
And so Vishwakarma Prabhu had said, I will stop otherwise. And so is it and already there's so when Indradyumna, King Indradyumna actually opened the door and he was feeling bad that, he did it out of rush and everything. So is that like a what, like a playful pastime with Indradyumna that Krishna is doing?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Make him feel bad.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
So it's just for a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it shows how much. When it was open, he felt really bad, and then Narada and Brahma told him it's not like that. This is the form the Lord is displaying.
So it's like he's just playing with.
Yeah.
Okay. And this came out of suddenly, like, I was having like a conversation with my parents, like, I was thinking, every day I'll keep Srila Prabhupada's Hare Krishna Mahamantra on, and I'll be fine, like, even during the night and everything. And they were telling me, like, or any sounds continuously heard, it might affect your ears, like impairing. And I'm like, maybe not, this is transcendental. And, when you got this topic of most of the ISKCON devotees have, hearing impair, is that something that, for me to say that I'm concocting to say, like, if at all it's transcendental, is it still like a physical issue that might happen?
Well, there's two things in your question, the way I see it. First, how loud is the song going when you're sleeping? Right? If it's too loud, then first of all, I don't think you can sleep. And you'll damage your eardrums. Now, the sound vibration is transcendental, but you are not transcendental yet. And therefore, you are, you have the enthusiasm and so on. Depends on the Lord. If He's kind, then your hearing may be okay. But chances are many devotees lose their hearing in loud kirtans. And so it's better to have a certain level. Now, I listen to Prabhupada's chanting when I'm sleeping also, but it's a background. Yeah, so it should be like that. Yeah.
No, that's what, because it's like continuously hearing some sound on.
That's okay.
Yeah, like I was thinking that, but when you said that to me, I'm like, okay, maybe, I'm
No, that's fine.
Out of like
That's
my own
fine.
sentimental thing.
Better
to
to
my
have
parents.
the vibration.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Prabhu. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So you can continue to hear.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
please
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisances.
Yeah,
A very nice showcasing of Radha Yatra and the devotees. How many devotees are being there for Radha Yatra? Prabhuji, my question is simple one. I never saw Jagannath ji, Balram, Subhadra Maya sitting in the bucket. And maybe I never saw that. So could you please throw some more light and information?
I think that's in Zurich, right? Yeah, Zurich temple. So they, Tripura? Was it Tripura? I thought it was Zurich.
Rajpur. I'm not sure.
So anyway, probably they're doing it on the altar side, no? And so they're catching all the water. And so they have, obviously you can't see, probably there's a pedestal inside the bucket, and Jagannath Baladev, they're sitting on the pedestal. So when they are bathing, the water is collected in the bottom. Yeah. In some places they have holes, so the water goes through. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that concept of bucket keeping there is quite.
That's Jagannath Baladev Subhadra's Leela.
Sure.
Maybe they wanted a bucket bath.
Sure. Thanks, Prabhuji.
So sometimes we try to think too much, we think it's offensive and things like that. But there's a special bucket made for bathing, so it's okay. Yeah. That's their Snan Vedi. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
We can talk afterwards.
Yeah, thank you. Afterwards, you can ask Prabhu, you can talk to Prabhu personally. He'll be there.